064 with service to Cincinnati. Thank you for flying with us today. At this time, I'd like to remind you that federal aviation regulations require that all carry luggage must be placed in the overhead bin beneath the seat in front of you. Please make certain your seatbelts are securely fastened and all seatbacks tray tables in their upright and locked position. Customers seated row of the wingsman cabin, please be advised you're seated in an emergency exit. Federal aviation regulations require that all passengers seated in emergency exit area is able to review such criteria that must be met, and specific functions you must be willing and able to perform. If you're unwilling, unable, or do not choose to perform these functions, please identify yourself at this time so that you may be reseated. Electronic devices prohibited for use anytime during all phases of flights are radios, televisions, remote control, and GPS devices. We are pleased to inform you you're no longer required to turn off all portable electronic devices. Please feel free to continue using your smartphone.
Oh my God, it looks so good. I've been up since like 3:30, so I'm ready to like break this fast, but I'll be good. Also, I didn't book these tickets, and that's the only reason I'm flying United, because I'm still team fuck United. But they're working out today so far. All right, Uber called. Good to go. Ran into Jason Corey on the same flight.
What's up, guys?
You guys may know him. He's the other half of Kara Corey, YouTuber Kara Corey. Awesome channel.
Behind the scenes guy.
He handles all her filming, and he's currently handling all the filming for the man himself, Mark Lobliner, who we're heading to meet right now. I'm heading there on some business, but it's gonna be a good old time linking up for Mark's boxing match.
These days, people talk a lot but never show up. These days, people really acting like they know us. I've been vibing, working, living out my lifestyle. You've been searching for a false paradise now. Why you acting so crazy? Yeah, drugged on the daily. Yeah, you've been turning up saying one day happiness will save me. Shit don't faze me.
From the airplane to the Uber to the Tiger Fitness headquarters to drop off bags, back in the vehicle with the man himself, Steve Shaw, cigar review god.
Cigar review god.
To finally grab food.
Let's just go have a cigar. We don't need to eat, do we?
Nah, I guess not. Cigar works for me anytime. Oh. Perfect way to break fast. Breakfast time.
I might just eat your Chipotle too.
Actually, real quick, you want an Instagram story this one too? Give some love to Tiger Fitness.
Video or just picture?
Video. I'll sign this for him. Right in that big old blank space right there. Boom. Tiger Fitness wall.
There you
signed.
go.
Thanks, dude. So it's finally time to train at the official Tiger Fitness gym. Been waiting for this. It's a badass gym. And I got the man, Jason Corey over here filming. Phenomenal level of filming. He's filmed for like every company you can think of. The dude's a pro. I'm going to be doing the editing because this man is booked. So he's gonna do me the courtesy of getting the sick angles with his own camera, which will be epic. And then he's just gonna give them to me, and I'm gonna do like my half-baked editing with it. Not as good as his. Check out Kara's channel and check him out on Instagram.
Jason Corey 411.
And here we go. There we go. So we are 3 weeks into this diet now, and I'm feeling pretty good. Things are beginning to pop. I'm down to 190, so over a solid 10 pounds down by week 3. And it's funny, I'm not like popping out of my shirts like I usually do. Like, I'm not walking around as full as I usually am because I'm obviously 10 pounds lighter now. So I'm starting to mess with myself in my own head. I'm like, oh, I'm small. But then I take off my shirt and I'm like, wow, I'm still really fat. I should speed up this dieting process. But I'm good at staying mentally grounded these days, so I'm going to stick to what I've been doing. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm going to take this diet slow. I could speed it up. I've gotten shredded fast before, but that's how you lose the muscle mass and the strength and make yourself miserable. So slow and steady wins the race. Treat it like a marathon. Keep that quality in there. But stay tuned because things are about to get turned up a notch now on week 4. It is like, this is a badass gym. It's in the 90s today. I don't know exactly how hot. It's in the 90s. No AC in this entire warehouse. Thank God. I just watched Ronnie Coleman's training DVD, or his new one, The King. That re-inspired me. Re-inspired my work ethic. That man worked out in that Texas heat and humidity, so now I can. And this will only last for like maybe 2 weeks, and then the documentary will wear off, and then I'll become a big baby and want my AC again. But for today, badass workout, badass gym. A lot of heat. That was Jason's amazing filming. That was my editing, though. He's a far better editor than I am, so just let that be known. That was me editing. He was gracious enough to at least film for me, though, which is badass enough. So I am actually here on business. Got some awesome new things in the works, and it's time to handle a little bit of that. I ate something on the plane today. It was one of these little waffle cookie things, and it doesn't have a barcode, so I couldn't scan it, so I saved the package and kept it in perfect condition so I could see all the macros, and I'm looking it up in my fitness pal to track it right now, and I think I just found it. 120 calories. No calorie left behind. Bam. Got the leanest steak they had available with my veggies for the day. Hashtag health.
False paradise, oh yeah. Live a false paradise, yeah.
Whoa. Hey. You want to train with me tomorrow?
Preston, I
No.
don't train.
You what?
I don't Preston, you think you can lift more
Doesn't
than that?
train. We were talking earlier how he has the cool seat.
He doesn't even lift.
I offered him this Xbox controller for it, but he still say no? Can I have the seat?
That's how dope we are. We have
No.
Xbox.
See that?
Hard bargain, man. Emag Atan Sty. Dude, it is 11 o'clock at night, and I'm so beat. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. this morning to catch my flight, and I've been traveling and filming and training and doing meetings and the whole 9. I've been editing all night here in my hotel, so I'm really, really freaking tired. But before I go to bed, I want to cover the topic of this video, which is what happened to Made Athletics. If you're unaware, Made Athletics was my clothing brand. Made was an acronym that stood for Motivate, Appreciate, Dedicate, Elevate. 4 keys to success. I love the principle behind it. Badass clothing, crazy high quality clothing, and it was a huge success. It was probably one of the most successful endeavors I've ever gotten into. I've never received support on anything I've done like I got for Made Athletics. I think because I had the combination of those of you who were just supporting me from the bottom of your hearts, and those of you who didn't really care about me but were digging the quality of the clothing. So like, it was crazy how well like it was received. Well, the long story short is the quick answer: Made Athletics is no more. It's been dissolved as a company, and that could be just for right now, or that could be for good. A little bit of backstory on what happened, because it was a success, which probably seems weird. It's like, why would you discontinue something that was a success? So first, I had a bunch of hiccups. This was not the reason for discontinuing it, because hiccups can be overcome, but this was like the start of the snowball. I had a ton of hiccups. I was working on this new hoodie design, and it was, I've never seen a hoodie like this. So I think this was gonna be like one of the first of its types. It was like a sports hoodie, but it's gonna be really comfortable. I already have a few samples. We still wear the samples because they're badass. And I was working on them forever. If you guys don't know, getting clothing done takes forever. You got to work with your graphics designers, go back and forth, then you got to get measurements and send the vector files to your your distributor, and then you got to get samples made, and those take like a while on their own. Those take like a few weeks to a month, depending on how many samples you're getting made, and they send it to you, and then you got to check it out and measure it and make the adjustments that you don't like and want to fix and send it back to them, and it's this big thing. It'll literally take half a year to get one thing made if you're quick and on top of your game and been doing it. Like, it's crazy how long this stuff takes. It's a process, right? So I was working on this hoodie for a long time because I wanted to be able to launch it like at the beginning of fall, so we could like do fall into winter. I didn't want to do it in the summer or spring, and so I'm like ready to go with it. This long ass process has been done, and then finally my distributor just closes shop out of nowhere, right as we're ready to pull the trigger for the bulk order. So I was like, damn. And this affected other orders too. The hoodie was just my main focus at this time. I had to hunt around, and finally through Friends and Connects, I got a new distributor that was like legitimate and good quality. Then I went through the whole process of like having to like send out samples to them to make sure they could replicate this exact hoodie, because like that's a whole other headache, right? And I had to do it with all my clothing. By the time the freaking hoodie would have been out, it would have been the start of spring and then on to summer. It's like I would have just had these things sitting in storage forever. So I was like, what the fuck? So I started moving on to like other clothing designs in the meantime. I was just gonna nix the hoodie and do it a different time. And then right as that happened, the Made Athletics Instagram, which was growing nicely, got fucking hacked and stolen, and I contacted Instagram and did everything I could not get it back. It was gone. So even that hiccup I overcame. I got a new Instagram page for Made Athletics, and I never even said it as public, but I got it locked down. I had it ready to go. So I was like, all right, well, fuck it. You know, we're a new distributor. We're going to just scrap all these designs, go for like a new summer line, and get the new Instagram pop and get photo shoots set up, this and that. And, you know, more headaches just kept piling on like that. I won't bore you with the whole stories here, but it's stuff like that kept going and going and going. And then at the same time that those headaches were happening, I started getting offers to link up with other people and their brands. Like I became a silent partner and started working on a brand new brand from scratch. And then Made just kind of took a back seat because like I was already so far behind with these hurdles and headaches. All that mixed together, topped off with the one final breaking point, which was I sat there racking my brain forever trying to like figure out new designs that I liked and loved for this summer line, and I just couldn't. And I had to finally face the truth that I had been battling with in my head since the very start of Made. I'm not a clothing guy. I'm not a clothing guy. The couple of designs I had for Made were very high quality, but they're very basic and easy. And even those had to be brainstormed. My friends came up with those, like with me. I couldn't do them by myself. And that's kind of normal. Like companies have a visionary, then they have an operations runner and all that. But it's like when you're small and just starting off, you should be able to have a decent vision for your own products. If you can't, if you're drawing a total blank, not a good sign. And if you look at someone like my friend Max Tuning, for example, he's always been into fashion, like hardcore into fashion. Like before he was even on YouTube, he just was very into the details of the clothing he bought. Like the subtle details most people don't even pay attention to, almost obsessively so. But that's the kind of mind you want when you're creating clothing from scratch. And I kind of known this when I began Made, but I was just, you know, plowing on through it because I'm stubborn and I love the brand idea and everything. And I had, you know, a good support team around me helping me out. But I just realized I was doing it just because it was the thing to do. All YouTubers had a clothing brand. I want to have a clothing brand. And it's just not a good reason to do that. So I hope that makes some sense. You know, I'm not opposed to having, you know, a stretch of clothing because I know you guys like supporting me and all that, and I appreciate that. So I'm down to like have a run of clothing. You know, I'd love to like restart NWB. You know, definitely make it modernized. You know, and have like a little run of that, just something for people to like rock the brand and support and all that. But to turn it into an actual entity, to turn it into its own major thing. If it's clothing, it's not really for me. That is the story behind Made and where it went. I am in the middle of setting up new things, business-wise, things I'm a lot more comfortable in. And there's a possibility I could carry on the Made brand name and what it stood for in these new things. Or we might just keep it moving with brand new names altogether. Either way, I'm just potato trying to get my life in order like you guys and just showing you how it's going along the way. So thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and stay tuned for the next chapter.